Good morning. It's Tuesday, November 14th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stacy Hawkins, HCCTV media producer and adjunct communication instructor. I'm filling in for Todd Duplantis with Benjamin Escobar, HCCTV videographer and filmmaking student. He's going to tell you how to find us on social media and TV.
Well, good morning, Stacy. Yes, everybody can find us live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, but Houston Community College Facebook District, sorry. Then you can find us on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and on HCC TV, our own TV channel at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Now, today we're talking about the upcoming student art exhibitions going on around the entire HCC system. We'll be talking with Katherine Rhodes Fields, HCC's Division Chair for Visual Arts. Good morning, Katherine. So Katherine will be right with you in about 10 minutes. But first, for Tasty Tuesday and for National Native American Heritage Month, we're spotlighting one of the few local chefs who features America's original cuisine. We're talking to David Skinner, chef and co-owner of Th Prsrv. Welcome to the show, Chef.
Thank you for having me.
Now, as we get ready to celebrate Thanksgiving, we're excited to also commemorate this special month with you. You recently partnered with a local James Beard Award winner to open a Kima restaurant that's one of the few in the region to feature Native American foods. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But first, tell us about yourself and your Choctaw roots.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Oklahoma. Grew up in a small town in kind of north central Oklahoma. And my great grandmother was a full blood Choctaw, and so at a very young age, she was teaching me to make things like hardtack and beef jerky and things like that. Of course, I was in the Boy Scouts, and so it kind of made sense. But I went on and started my first restaurant when I was 16, and it was a French restaurant. So my great grandmother was Choctaw. My grandmother was a mix of a lot of different things, as most people are, and but she was a pastry chef, and I always enjoyed spending time in the kitchen with her, and kind of just grew up in cooking. My mother had a restaurant, and anyway, when I was about 12, she gave me a chef's knife and Julia Child's cookbooks and said, "Here you go, start with these and let me know when you have a problem." So I actually did all of the recipes in her 2-volume set. That used to become our Sunday afternoon dinner, which I think my grandmother sort of enjoyed, because no longer was she having to make roast or chicken or something on Sundays, although when we got to aspics and a few other things, my family wasn't too thrilled about those. But I told her I thought I wanted to have a restaurant someday. And like I said, I was about 16, and she said, "Well, why don't you just do it now?" She had a gourmet store, kind of like Williams-Sonoma. And she had some space in the back, and she's like, "Just set up a restaurant in the back, and so I did, and basically ran it after school and on the weekends, and had a lot of success with that. And so I went on. My mother said, "You have to go to college," so I went to Oklahoma State and got degrees and a lot of other things. But anyway, when I was at college, I was like, "Well, I think I'm going to open another restaurant." So I opened my second one, which was sort of French inspired, but really more kind of California cuisine that was really kind of up and coming at the time, with Chez Panisse and Stars and others. And did that until I graduated, and then went in and did oil and gas for the next 30 years, and started Eculent in 2014 when I kind of retired from my last company. So it's been an interesting kind of wild ride. Eculent's gotten a lot of success. We're kind of the only real avant-garde restaurant pretty much in the state, and one of very few in kind of the U.S. And one of the things that makes us different is we have the ability to change the atmosphere of the restaurant with the dishes. So we can change the lighting, the smell, the music's choreographed to go with the courses. It's kind of a full sensory experience. And the last 3 or 4 years, I've been doing Native American dishes, but in a kind of very modern way. And one of the things I noticed was those are some of the favorite courses that people like, and so it got me thinking about what if I just did a whole restaurant that was nothing but indigenous. And
That is absolutely incredible. I can't believe that at a time when most of us are just getting our driver's license, you had your own restaurant. I want to hop back to something you
Sure.
said a little bit earlier, because one of my idols is Julia Child.
Mhm.
Not only was she an incredible author and an incredible chef, but she invented the cooking show genre. I
Right.
understand you got to meet her. Okay, I want all the details of that.
More than once. Um, yeah, so I actually just wrote her a letter, and I think she was quite intrigued because I had a French restaurant, and I learned to cook basically on her recipes. So anyway, I flew to San Francisco, and that's where I met her the first time. But we cooked together, and it was I had quite an interesting experience and kind of history of her. She was exactly like she was on TV. There was no on TV Julia and off TV somebody else. It was the same exact person, but she was quite a hoot.
And I
And
know one of
very
her
tall.
values, I know one of her values is that she believes so very much in food being authentic. And that
Correct.
appears to be one of your values too. Tell me a little bit about how, I mean, you've got a mix of both Choctaw and Thai traditions that you bring into your restaurant. Tell us a little bit about how that works.
Yeah. So I guess, well, it was during the pandemic that I met Chef Benchuan and Graham Painter. They have Street to Kitchen over in the East End, and we met actually at a Truffle Masters competition. It was kind of funny. Anyway, I started going to eat at their restaurant, and I was like, this is the best Thai food I've had, out of Thailand, and so they started coming down um, to my restaurant, and we just formed this really great friendship. And probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I said, "Hey, what do you think about doing a restaurant together?" And and they said, "Absolutely. What are you thinking?" I'm like, got this idea for an indigenous restaurant, and they're like, "We don't know anything about Choctaw food or any of that." I'm like, "That's okay. You know about Thai." And the idea was to tell the story of how food traveled from continent to continent and how it influenced all the different cuisines of the world. So what most people don't understand is that 60% of all the world's cuisine, the ingredients came from the Americas, North and South America. So potatoes, tomatoes, onions, chilies, peppers, corn, the list goes on and on. So if you kind of think about Italian food without tomato sauce, I mean that's what it would be, right? Um, so we, early on people thought, hey, you're doing some kind of a weird fusion, Choctaw and Thai, and what's that about? There's no fusion. What we have is a historical based menu. So we start out about 2,500 years ago and bring it forward to today. And we talk about how different ingredients traveled from one place to another. So, modern Thai, as people know it, is thought to be this, really spicy, blow your head off, and G can definitely do that. So anyway, it's if you go back, 500 years before the spice trade, before the Portuguese really started moving things around, their food, their customs, their traditions very much mimicked what went on in Native American culture in the Americas.
That that's just incredible. I've got to unfortunately have to wrap this up with you. Thank you for sharing with us your incredible journey, everything that you've learned from your family. I'm sure all of us, when we go to Thanksgiving dinner, are going to be asking Grandma about those
Exactly.
wonderful recipes. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us, David Skinner, chef and co-owner of The Prsrv, our Tasty Tuesday guest. We'll have your info in our post after the show. Thank you so
Wonderful.
very, very much.
Thank you. Hope to see you at the restaurant.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now I'm hungry. Benji, are you hungry as well?
I am very hungry. Yes, I would like to try that specialty of food, really. So now,
Awesome. Well, take it away for our next guest.
yeah, so now we're moving on to Katherine Fields, the division chair of HCC's Visual Arts Department. Welcome back to the show, Katherine.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, once again, it's time for the fall 2023 Juried Student Exhibitions. Virtual and in-person exhibitions will be held at multiple campuses, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so tell us about that, what makes the student show so special for HCC students?
Well, what makes them so special is that because our students are freshmen and sophomores, typically speaking, art majors at a four-year institution don't get an opportunity to exhibit their work until their junior or senior year. So our students that are enrolled in our art classes actually get an opportunity early on to start that professional practice. So that's a really exceptional opportunity for our students so that they learn how to frame or mat or present their work for a gallery exhibition. And they also have that exhibition on their curriculum vitae, right? Or their resume. So going out into the art market, they have that experience, but also to have it on their CV resume as well. So that's what makes them really special for our students.
Awesome. And what are some of the things we're going to see at these exhibitions? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the courses that we offer across the system are 2D and 3D courses. So you'll see in the 2D arena, you'll see some drawings, you'll see some life drawings or figure drawings. You'll also see some paintings, printmaking, some prints. As well as watercolor paintings. So you'll have some acrylic paintings and watercolor paintings as well. And then in digital media and photography. So we offer photography courses. So you'll see some digital photographic prints and also do digital media artwork made using the computer. So those are our 2D areas. And then you'll see jewelry or small art designs, art metal designs from our art metals courses, and they'll be in display cases, sculptures and ceramic works, as well as sculptures that are made by our 3D design students. And you'll also see some kind of abstracted or designs too from our design students. So there's going to be a huge plethora of different works, and they're all available to be seen at each of the physical locations as well as our online virtual gallery.
Perfect. And how often are these student shows held? I mean, I know earlier well, little like a month ago or two, I was doing some packages on that and exhibiting some of the art work that are some of the galleries out and the campuses out there. But tell us about how often these shows are held.
Right. So what we do is we coordinate all the student shows at the end of each academic term. So they're in the fall and the spring, and they highlight and show all the student work that students who are enrolled in our studio courses at that time. And so the physical locations of the galleries, including the virtual gallery, they highlight the students that are enrolled at that location. So if you go to like Central Campus, you'll see the work of the students that are enrolled at Central Campus, or you go and visit the virtual gallery gallery. Those are our online students. But also, too, at the end, after exams, we upload all the digital submissions to Instagram. So that's where we are become a one college exhibition. So that's also a kind of a great opportunity for everyone to see all the student work together in one place. And then that stays up until the next academic year.
Okay. And you also said that you keep saying that online students are also represented in this. So how do y'all do that? Like they just display images online? Is there like a VR experience maybe? I don't know. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we're using a spatial IO. It's actually a virtual gallery that our gallery faculty member and full-time faculty member, Nathan Doobie, who teaches graphic design and digital media, he actually utilized 360 cameras to get the interiors of all of our physical galleries. And then he combined them together into a VR gallery using spatial IO. So we actually show our students' work. We upload the digital images into the virtual VR galleries. And so people can become and create avatars in spatial IO, and they can actually walk through the virtual gallery. So it's a really fun experience. But we also have an in-person reception and award ceremony honoring the online students, so that the parents and friends and family can come and get and receive the award. So that's also a really fun thing as well, is that we do have an award ceremony and a reception for all the different locations where we celebrate all of the creative endeavors that the students took on that semester. And so it's a wonderful and rewarding time for all of us as faculty and staff and family to see all their hard work put up in a gallery in a professional setting.
Okay. And are any of these works for sale? I mean, what if somebody goes and they're so amazed by this artwork? Could somebody just purchase it?
Absolutely. And the best way to do that would be to reach out either to me or to reach out to the gallery faculty member that oversees the gallery, or reach out to the student themselves. 100% of that goes to the student. So we in the program don't take any of the percentage of it. It goes directly to the student. So know that students are very excited about selling their work. So if anyone is interested in purchasing it, it makes great Christmas gifts or holiday gifts or birthday gifts or anniversary gifts. So if anyone is interested, you should stop by and take a look and see. And if you like something, let us know, and we're happy to work with you so you can own it and keep it, because that's what art is all about. It's having that intimate kind of exchange and visual like love of the art and owning it and having it, because students want everyone to see it and for it to be part of someone's life. So that's a really great part of it as well, a benefit for sure.
Yeah. So tell me, let's say if I was a student and I want to get my artwork out there, what's the process? So let's say I'm a 2-year associate's degree student. Tell me everything that I have to do from the beginning to the end, not in detail with classes and stuff, but I mean, you have to go through the program. Yeah. Eventually you get the chance to exhibit your art, right? Tell us about that.
Well, typically that's the normal route, but a student at HCC can enroll in any of our studio courses, and that is the expectation at the end. So any student that enrolls in a studio art class gets the opportunity to be in the exhibition. So it's not just our majors, it's any student that enrolls. And fortunately, a lot of our studio courses are part of the Texas core, right? So the creative arts core. So a student can use that to fulfill their creative arts core requirement. They can take a 2D design, a 3D design, a digital media, or a drawing class for that particular requirement. So then they will get the opportunity to be in the student shows, which is a really awesome opportunity for students outside of our degree plan.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Kind of fun, huh? Right?
Yeah. So it makes me want to take a class there, Maybe exhibit some of my abstract art,
We have stellar faculty. Our faculty are working artists and they're educators, and we mentor our students. We work with them constantly. We have small class sizes, so we really help students develop creatively. And even if they don't become working artists, we hope to encourage them to live a creative life.
Yeah. And then what are some of the other things you range in, Katherine? I know you're like the division chair of HCC's visual art departments, but what are some of the other things? I mean, are we missing anything that we haven't talked about today?
Well, what's really exceptional about our program is that we actually offer classes at 11 locations, but 7 of the 11 locations have physical studios, and so that's across the system. So at every college, Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, Southeast, and Central, and online, we have studio art courses. So we're really big. We're everywhere. So just know that we're also very accessible. We have full-time faculty at every location. So if students are interested in the visual arts program, we're available for them to come and chat with us, and we'll meet with them. And we're also available for virtual meetings as well. So, Houston is all about the arts, and we are
Yeah.
all about Houston and supporting our students and living that kind of creative life, and helping them get started from the ground and working their way up and seeing them through their careers. Yeah.
I mean, that's great to hear, because somebody could be listening to this message here that we're giving to the people, and they could just hear, if they're even remotely interested in anything that has to do with art, they could take the class and even exhibit that stuff. That sounds great,
Exactly. And a lot of our classes do have prerequisites, but most of our intro level courses have no prerequisites. So they
Mhm.
don't have to have any experience. That's not an expectation. And so we really, really want them to know that they can step on in, and we will guide them through the process and help them along the way. Yeah. And also, too, one thing that is really exceptional about my colleagues and I, and what we really strive to do, is we strive to keep up with our students
Mhm.
beyond HCC. We write letters of recommendation for them to transfer. And also, too, because our program is accredited by the National Associations of Schools of Art and Design, and we're the only community college in Houston that have this accreditation, we really hope and kind of raise our curriculum and our students up to the level of the national standard. So our students are very successful in transferring to four-year institutions, but we also see them through that, past that, into master's programs and beyond. As a matter of fact, I recently just attended a wedding of a student who was my student back in 2013.
Oh, wow.
And I've been mentoring her this whole time. So, it's been 10 years, a decade of me being a part of her life and following her through and seeing it through on that wonderful stage in her life. So know that I'm not alone. We all do that. We really cherish our students and support them.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Captain Field. She is a division chair of
You're
the
so
HCC
welcome.
Virtual Arts Department, and we'll have all of your info and everything that's going on our post after the show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing all of you at the student shows. Bye.
Of course, yeah.
Well, now we've got some news, events, and announcements. First up, recipes for success. I'm seeing a theme in my portion of the script today. Anyway, these are virtual workshops that are coming up to help students improve various skills. Tomorrow, Wednesday, November 15th, on Teams, AI ethics and responsible practices. AI is such an incredibly good tool, but it is a tool. And there are some potential ethical concerns that we've got to address, like fairness, plagiarism, bias. So if you want to get more information about that, it's Wednesday, November 15th from 2 to 3. It's online. Check our post after the show for more info.
Yes, and then we have free haircuts at Central, which ends tomorrow. HCC's free haircuts on Tuesdays and Wednesday ends February, November 15th. This will take place Tuesdays from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and on Wednesdays from 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. This will take place at the J.B. Whitley building at the Central campus. Call for more info, and we'll have that number on our post after the show, which kind of looks like I'm going to need a haircut too, right?
Get ready for the holidays, seeing family.
Right? Yeah.
Now, this next announcement will make you want to shout, "Goal!" So whether you want to cheer on your fellow students or maybe just your favorite campus manager, join us for a friendly soccer match at HCC Northline on Wednesday, November 15th at 2 p.m. It's a match between HCC staff and HCC students. And as a bonus, participants will receive a prize. Check out the post after the show.
Then we have the honors recital, best of the best. HCC's entire system will present the best music performances of fall 2023. Majors in this recital showcase of select students who are recommended by private instructors across all disciplines, voice and instrumental. This will take place Thursday, December the 7th at 7:30 p.m. at the HCC Heinen Theater. Check out our post after the show for more info.
Now, for those of you that are already participating in online classes, you like online, register now for either the winter mini session or the spring semester. The winter session is starting Monday, December 18th. Check out the post after the show for more info on online college.
Yeah, and just like Stacy said, spring registration is open, and also winter mini sessions. We cannot stress how important it is for you to sign up to your classes early. That way, you get a spot in class. HCC spring registration is ongoing, but it includes the popular also the mini sessions. All courses either in person, online, hybrid, online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, in person, hybrid lab. To learn more about all of these HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, please visit hccs.edu/apply. Again, hccs.edu/apply.
Now, later this week, we're going to feature our own faculty designers. They're gearing up for HCC's first ever faculty fashion show, Into the Kaleidoscope. That's celebrating 40 years of HCC's incredible fashion department. Guys, I'm so excited about this. The fashion folks always have something cool going on. And then Film Friday, we're going to talk about women in film and TV. So we've got just 1 or 2 more minutes here. I just want to ask you, since I, hardly ever get to see you and we're hosting, you got anything special planned for Thanksgiving?
So I'm gonna be coming back from a trip from El Salvador the day before. So
Oh,
we
wow.
might have to make like a little makeshift Thanksgiving dinner. But I'm sure my mom's gonna have something ready. My mom's always great at that. I mean, we own a restaurant here in the city, so she has a whole commercial kitchen available to her to make a dinner. But it'll be
Awesome.
something more Salvadoran oriented. So we make like it's like panes con pollo. So basically like a sandwich bread, but
Oh,
it's like stuffed with chicken and all this other stuff. And so we'll make tamales, but these are like the Salvadoran variants.
oh,
They're like,
okay,
yeah. Mhm.
awesome,
What are you
awesome.
gonna do, Stacey?
I am going to be making my famous turkey soup for the first time in many, many years. So I got to wrap this up because I got to go to HEB during my lunch and buy all the ingredients and stuff the refrigerator somehow. Everybody, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Up to the Minute.